guys, welcome back to another episode of Sticks at the Shore. This is a super special episode for you. I have one of the newest members of the Sticks team here. You all remember DJ.
What's up, guys?
And today we get the immense pleasure of trying something new on the market. We are talking about this right here. This is Penelope Bourbon's Cigar Sessions Chapter 1. So let's talk a little bit about the bourbon. So if you don't know about the bourbon and you don't know about the bourbon, so the bourbon took 2 years of development and they used 2 different blenders of cigars. So they used Lee Marsh from Stolen Throne and his team, as well as Cynn Coburn and her team with Dissident Cigars. So in conjunction with the Penelope Bourbon blenders, they came up with this Cigar Sessions Chapter 1. So this is apparently going to be one of their lineup of their yearly limited release, kind of like their F Cancer and the light whiskey and all that stuff. So this is going to be added to like their yearly limited release that they do. They sent me some really nice information. So they sent me a thank you letter. So first of all, thank you to Penelope Bourbon for sending me a bottle.
Thank you. We love your stuff.
We love your stuff. I absolutely love your stuff.
Feel free to send more bottles. Just saying.
But thank you so much to Penelope and the guys over there at their media team to send us a bottle to be able to review it on my channel. They sent us a really nice pack. It was really well packaged. They sent me a thank you card for the interest, and they also sent me a really nice press release, which has a lot of great information in it. So let's go through this really fast. So the first thing is this was blended towards a medium-bodied cigar. So when they had this in mind, they didn't want something strong. They didn't want something too light. So this is blended toward medium-bodied cigar, and it is the first release in their annual cigar series. So here's what they say about the blend. The blend is a unique blend of American whiskeys, straight bourbon, 100% single malt, and American light whiskey. It's made in small batches, aged 6 years, and it has a mash bill of 72% corn, 15% rye, and 13% malt. So Cigar Sessions is bottled at 101 proof, which is 50.5 ABV. It came out with a limited allocation of 7,500 cases with 6 in each case, which is frankly kind of a lot anyway. That's a lot of bourbon. And then the retail price, MSRP on the bottle of a 750 is $79.99, which in New Jersey is a little...
Listen, dude, I'm here for it.
So it's cool because, you know, they had 2 famous blenders of cigars kind of work on this with Penelope and their blenders. So I'm really actually looking forward to getting into this. Yeah. So we have also each picked out a medium body stick to go with our bourbon. So I decided I'm going to go with the Plasencia Reserve Original. Fantastic medium body cigar. I love Plasencia. Such a great company. Doesn't really make bad cigars at all. And DJ, what'd you come up with?
I decided to go with the Brick House, and you're telling me that is one of the medium-bodied cigars that they've recommended. So,
yes.
Comes out of J.C. Newman. Fantastic company. They've been around for, I don't know, God knows how long they've been around. I'm not gonna pretend I know when the company was founded, so don't call me out on it. But we going to an Eric Newman event?
We are.
We'll probably ask him.
In July. We'll see. We're seeing Bobby Newman.
Yeah, Bobby Newman.
Bobby Newman we're seeing in end of July. That hopefully will be out by the end of this.
Cool.
This should be out next week. It has tasting notes in here. I don't want to get into that because I want to see.
Just make them up.
You are the more experienced bourbon guy than I am. I got more recently into bourbon, so I want to see what you think. I'm going to kind of make my own decisions. So I'm not even going to read the tasting notes that they put on here. All right. Is there anything else? So a little bit about Penelope. If you don't know about Penelope Bourbon, it was founded in 2018, and it's one of the fastest growing premium whiskey brands. They're out of...
Well, now they're with Luxco.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were founded in St. Louis.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Luxco was founded in St. Louis.
Luxco was founded in St. Louis. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to taste the bourbon first on its own. give you our initial notes of what we find. Then we are going to get into our cigars and then add the bourbon back into the mix and see if the bourbon enhances the flavor of the cigar is going to enhance the flavor of the bourbon, or if they kind of just bounce off each other, or like what it does with a medium-bodied cigar. So, DJ, would you like to do the honors of pouring our first our first little bit?
Yeah, why the hell not? So, you had a lot of, bourbons or any kind of whiskeys in general that are blended to be paired with a cigar?
I don't. No. This is my first cigar bourbon. So explain to me what a cigar bourbon is.
So I think a cigar bourbon or, a cigar malt is one of those terms that's kind of a catch-all, and it's something that is made by the houses that are making these whiskeys, and it's something that's blended to pair alongside, your favorite stick. Some of them are going to be blended to pair better with a medium bodied, something that's mild. Some of them, might change a little bit as you smoke your cigar, but it's a really cool project, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it's going to be a yearly release for them.
Right.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing what other blenders they work with, because I'm sure right now they're already working with the next Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 for the next couple of years. So it's cool that you don't have a
lot of information regarding, Chapter 2, because it'd be cool to see, are they going to do the same people? Are they going to go with different people?
So. I don't think so. I think they have to mix it up, because you're talking about different palates here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be cool, but also to give, Lee and Cynn something else to go with, and, or you change one person, change the different barrels.
All right, so we're gonna get into the nose of the bourbon.
What do you smell?
Caramel. I don't want to look at this. I get caramel on the nose, a little bit of vanilla.
There's there's a little bit of citrus to it. Can we be those obnoxious tasters and make like that sucking noise? Don't you dare.
It's got a long finish on it.
Yeah. It's not too viscous. It doesn't have like a lot of mouth coating. It's not.
No. It's very light on the palate.
It doesn't have that.
It has a long finish, but it's not like a very chewy style.
Yeah. Which is nice. Ooh, I like this. Yeah. It's got a little bit more.
What kind of flavors do you get on this? I get fruity notes. Like I get like a dark fruity note. Almost.
I see what you're saying, kind of like a cherry, but like a fresh cherry, like a stone fruit kind of thing.
It really has that big hit of oakiness. Like there's, it's like you could tell these were in oak barrels.
Yeah, and I think, you mentioned that it's American light whiskey, so of course, it's something people probably don't know a whole lot about. It's a term they see a lot, but if you had to ask somebody what American light whiskey is, so it's bottled at a higher proof. Like 160 to 190, so you're in like the hazmat Everclear kind of range. But the cool thing is that bourbon uses new charred oak barrels, but with American light whiskey they can use used barrels or uncharred barrels. So that's why that's where the lightness comes in, because you're not getting all that caramelization coming into the whiskey. So. That's pretty cool.
What else are you tasting? It's a little hot.
That's what. So for 101 proof, it feels a little spicier, right?
It definitely has some spiciness to it,
which is great.
It definitely drinks at a higher proof.
It feels like it does. Yeah.
It definitely has a spiciness in it.
But you also have to remember, this is what people call the neck pour. So we're going to see how it changes over time.
Yeah. So we're letting it kind of sit. We're gonna after we're done with our first impressions of the bourbon, we're gonna light up our cigars and we're gonna see what's gonna happen with the flavor notes and the profiles.
I mean, it definitely does have.
I'm getting a lot of caramel on the palate as well.
But it's not like a brown butter. Yeah. It's got those typical like ice creamy characteristics. It's got the vanilla. It definitely has like a vanilla bean to it. Yeah. Yeah. This is good stuff.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not very smoky though.
No.
Like when you sometimes get those bourbons that's been sitting in those those charred oak barrels, you kind of get that light smokiness.
You can either get the oak or you can get the char, and you get that char note.
So this is more oaky than char.
Yeah.
You don't really get any smokiness on this at all. I get brown sugar in the background.
Really? Okay. I'm getting almost more like where you're getting caramel. I taste more almost maple syrup.
Okay.
So, but this is why tasting whiskey is fun.
This is why tasting cigars is fun too.
It's great because you're going to taste that placencia with it. You're going to taste something probably somewhat different than what I'm going to taste. It's probably going to have a little bit of a different experience for you than it will for me. It's a cool bottle. I will say, I do really appreciate Penelope's bottling, and I hope you guys can all see this bottle and
hold it up to the camera.
Go out and see one, because it's got a cigar band for the label.
Yeah,
which
I thought was cool.
A really, really cool touch.
One of the first things they did when they announced this bottle is, before we even knew what we were getting, Penelope released a picture of what the label looked like, and the first thing they did was throw up that cigar band, and they were like, "Oh my goodness!"
Oh, and so people are going to misquote this as being a bourbon as opposed to an American whiskey.
Yes.
And it's because it's got, the American light whiskey and everything else.
Yep.
So Penelope is true to the craft, and they're not going to call it a bourbon. I like that.
Yeah.
Also, it's non-chill filtered, which I always like non-chill filtered bourbon. So if you don't know what that is, with chill filtration, once they take it and they're getting it ready for bottling and whatnot, they can super chill it, and some of the oils will actually separate and they'll congeal and they're filtered out. I personally think that removes some of the taste, and it makes bourbon clear if it gets cold.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine. I don't really care. I don't have a walk-in freezer I drink my bourbon in, so it's not really an issue for me. I don't mind my bourbon being a little cloudy, and I think it gives it a little bit more flavor.
I actually think it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No. Oh, it's super clear, and it's only going to be an issue when it gets super, super cold, so that the molecules will actually get a little more dense. So that's what chill filtration does, and I'm good with the non-chill.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it so far.
I like
it's
that
good.
It's opening up, and
it has a really sweet characteristic to it.
Yeah, it really does, because now if you smell it, you're going to get so much more of that vanilla ice cream. That like
the vanilla. I get vanilla,
it.
caramel, kind of brown, sugary, oak is kind of like the main notes I was getting.
They are definitely the hallmarks. I'm not gonna, say there's something really random in here like your grandma's blueberry pie from 1987. Like, I'm not gonna be one of those guys, but yeah. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, no, it really has a nice sweet characteristic to it.
And we were talking about, it's sipping kind of hot. I think as it's oxidized a little bit and been open to the air,
it kind of chills out a little bit.
Yeah,
it's kind of losing a little bit.
It's mellowing a tiny bit.
Yeah, it mellows a little bit, but it kind of also is picking up that sweetness a lot more.
I'm definitely excited to see what it does with the cigars.
Yeah. All right. You ready for our cigars?
Hell yeah.
So, like we said, I am going with the Plasencia Reserve Original in a Robusto. Looks like a Robusto. And DJ here is going with the Brick House. This footband is going to kill me.
Womp womp.
The footband of death. Oh, there we go.
So while we're smoking these cigars, you want to talk religion and politics, or you want to talk cigars and bourbon? What's going to be more fun?
Jeez.
I'm kidding. That's a funny thing. Every time we go to these cigar lounges and people are like, we only have one rule here.
No religion and
no
politics.
Religion, no politics. So.
Lighting outside sucks.
Oh, nature.
And of course, Valor cigar cutter. I gotta rep my.
By the way, dude, can I just say that? And again, not to detract from Penelope, but Penelope doesn't make cigar cutters. This is a dope cutter.
Yeah, it's Valor. So that's one of my sponsors for our channel. It's fantastic. It's American made. It's built like a tank. It's sharp as hell.
You're not kidding. This thing. If you don't smoke cigars, you can freaking buy one as a cool paperweight for your desk, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
This thing it's substantial.
Yeah, it's
and
chunky.
It feels really, really solid.
Yeah,
and it's weird that it's solid. It's really high quality, and it looks dope. The mechanism is super cool, and I like that the exposed gears are on the bottom.
Yeah.
And it still fits in your pocket.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? Really the good thing about this brand, Valor, 10% of their profits go to military and first responder charities.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good stuff. All right. So.
Pour number 2.
A little more?
A little more. We don't want to destroy the bottle, but poquito más.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Get to say crap like, "Oh, man down, bottle kill."
I'm sure you hear the rumble of thunder in the background. We're currently dodging some weather, so hopefully it stays away. We may have to move into the inside lounge.
Nah, we're just going to finish this bottle in a hurricane. I don't know what he's talking about. How's your stick?
Great.
Yeah?
It's nice. It's got a lot of cedar creaminess.
All right.
I have so many cigars. My big thing for the review was picking one.
Yeah.
To review with.
Listen.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll grab a Stolen Throne stick. Maybe I'll grab a Dissident stick. And I was like, I said, you know what? I said, I don't want to. I love. Listen, Lee and Cynn I have interviewed both of them.
Right.
They're fantastic, fantastic people. I interviewed Cynn on the podcast, and I actually got to interview Lee at PCA, and they're both fantastic people. I didn't want to show love for one or the other. They're both fantastic blenders, but I kind of wanted to go with something neutral. So I'd be like, well, if I smoked a Dissident, how come how come Stolen Throne didn't get any love? But I decided to go with something neutral. Have you taken your first sips of bourbon yet?
I have.
Uh-oh. And?
There's Grandma's blueberry pie.
Right there sitting in the background.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it definitely changes.
Really?
Yeah.
The stick or?
Yes.
The stick or the bourbon itself?
Yes.
Yes. Ooh. Oh wow. Okay. I see what you're saying. It makes it even sweeter.
So
So let's start out by saying perfect selections because the whiskey is not drowning out the cigars. And the cigars... Oh, there's the raindrops. And the cigars are not drowning out the whiskey.
Right.
What you looking at?
I was going to say, what's the mash bill on this? Because it's
72, they said the mash bill is 72% corn, 15 rye, and 13 malt.
Okay. So, yeah.
It brings out this definitely brings out the sweetness of the bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could really taste that kind of almost like a cream corn. And I hate to describe it that way. It's like more of like a cream corn flavor.
And see, that's why I like doing tastings, because you're getting more of the corn with your placencia. I'm almost getting more of the maltiness and a little bit of the rye, because I'm still getting a little bit of that, like almost not really like a eucalyptus menthol, but there's something that's got almost like an acidic kind of brightness to it. And it only makes me think of like eucalyptus, and then there's a little bit of citrusy.
I taste the citrus
mixed with the maltiness.
But it's good. Neither one is trampling over the other.
No,
they're
and that's
kind of
really, really great.
Working in nice harmony together, which was the aim of Lee and Cynn and Penelope when they were putting this together.
So now, next time you talk to one of these people, whether it's somebody from Penelope or Lee or Cynn, I need to know how many glasses they went through and how many different sticks, because I mean, we've smoked a couple different cigars and we've drank. I've had, a couple of different glasses of whiskey with you, and sometimes, you'll pick out a stick and it'll be great, with your whiskey, but you can't even taste your whiskey because it overpowers it. Or you pick the wrong stick and now you might as well not even be smoking because it adds nothing to the whiskey and just gets lost in whatever full bodied bourbon you're pouring. So I think this is a great combination. Definitely, I would say something medium bodied is going to be in the wheelhouse of what pairs well with this.
It really, it's funny what the bourbon is doing with the cigar. It's really bringing out the woodiness in the cigar, the woody note. And I'm noticing as you smoke and as you're sipping the whiskey, you are not getting that hotness anymore. as
Right.
quite as much as in the beginning.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know if it's because it's been sitting a little bit.
Is it that your palate's getting acclimated? Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it that it's oxidized for a couple minutes? Maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
But
it's
you're
probably a
definitely-
little bit of both.
Yeah, but you're definitely not getting the hotness as much. It still has a nice spiciness to it, not overpowering.
No, it's still got a great body to it. Yeah.
But again, it's still not a. Still has a long finish to it.
Mm-hmm.
Still like light on the palate, is not like a very coating.
Right. No, I would say
whiskey.
that the cool thing about that is, like, my brick house has more body to it, and it coats my mouth a little bit more, and the whiskey cuts through that a little bit. It's not the other way around. So they interact really, really well. Mm. All right, so we're going to rate this?
How do you want to rate it?
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I've never rated anything in my life.
I've never rated it either. I mean, listen, if you're...
Give it a scale of, green to triangle.
Green to triangle. I mean, listen, if you're a bourbon guy...
Should we do that? Should we start a bourbon review, or we just come up with
green to triangle?
Crazy-ass rankings and just rank random things? Oh, this scored a blueberry pancake on our rating system.
Guys, this was the cherry pie filling.
You guys don't remember our Square Bourbon episode?
I mean, if you're a whiskey guy and you're a cigar guy,
this is a great pour.
It's a solid pickup. If you could find it, definitely solid.
If you can find it for MSRP or close, hell yeah, buy it.
Yeah.
Because the way the bourbon market is going right now, you're going to find so much more whiskey for such a higher price point that is not as good as this. Mm-hmm. And also the people at Penelope are just awesome.
I mean, if you go look at my, bourbon cabinet, that's one of my top whiskeys right now.
That's
I have
probably half of your cabinet, right?
I have what is it? What do I have now? I got the Cigar Sessions. I have Valencia.
Mm-hmm.
I have one of our Cigar and Bourbon Society pours from Penelope, which was their last barrel before they went to MGP.
No. Before they went to Luxco.
Before they went to Luxco.
Mm-hmm.
Before they went to Luxco, it was their last private barrel they did. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a weeded in there, but I have at least 4 bottles of Penelope in my
And by
shelf.
the way, that single barrel, I'm sorry for you guys that won't get to try it.
It's literally was, like I said, it was a private barrel for our personal cigar and whiskey club. And we bought them all, apparently.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Actually,
We bought them all.
I was going to say, I didn't actually know we could buy out a full barrel. I'm really impressed. It was a full barrel. So, bought a case.
And bought one of them off of him.
Cheers.
Cheers, sir.
What do you think of these glasses? They're kind of cool.
I like the double wall.
Yeah.
If you can see, they're double wall, so they're insulated. Doesn't warm your bourbon up. Or whiskey, bourbon, whatever's in there.
Won't warm your whiskey, won't warm your bourbon, won't warm your tequila. So.
Now, explain to me what you think about, Glencairns. How come you didn't go with a Glencairn today? I know when people taste bourbon and when the bourbon guys, when they taste their bourbons, they have these, thick-bottomed glasses that have a really small head, that have a really small neck, and why I mean, this is not. I mean, I would not consider this the most narrowest of. So now, what is the purpose of a Glencairn? I should ask.
Right. So it's going to be similar to drinking wine. You drink wine, you drink bourbon, you drink all of it first with your eyes, right? You're going to look at it, look at the color, look at the clarity, look at all that stuff. And then your nose, and that's why you smell it, and you smell it a couple times. You get rid of that, ethanol vapor in your nose, then you're going to smell it again, smell the base notes. You go back a third time, now your nose is acclimated to all those scents, and then you're going to start to pick up on those, subtle olfactory hints that people get and they talk about. Which, honest to God, I think some of them are made up. But that's why a lot of people go with the Glencairn glass, because it has that wider base that'll allow you to oxidize the whiskey, whatever you're pouring, get a little air in there, and then it'll funnel it into a smaller opening that you can stick your whole nose in.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to let whoever watches this video do a little research. There's a master blender on YouTube. And you should find his videos. And you'll know when you found him, and they should comment what his name is. Because when you find him, and in one part of one of his tasting videos, he'll tell you, you don't smell it like this. No, you get your nose in there. Mm-hmm. Seriously. Stick your nose in your glass. It's your whiskey. You paid for it. Hopefully your glass is clean. Hopefully your nose isn't running. Stick it in there. Get your smell, because as long as you don't, have your allergies kicking your butt or something like that, you're going to get a lot more out of your whiskey.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I was actually just ranting about that today on the board. And
as I ash on myself.
As you ash on yourself.
Womp.
I was just saying that before, that if you're not retroing your cigars, you're missing 70% of your cigar flavors.
Well, yeah,
because if you, for those who are not like total tobacco and whiskey nerds and food nerds and stuff like that, or scientists or people who know biology, so when you take something into your mouth, you taste it with the taste buds in your mouth. But in reality, you are only using 30% of your taste buds that are in your mouth. The rest of your taste buds are in the back of your throat and up through your sinuses, which is why when you stick your nose in, when you have a stuffy nose, you don't taste your food,
right? Because
you're actually getting the flavor through your nose,
right?
Which is why retroing your cigars, which is why sticking your nose into the whiskey.
Which is also why nobody tastes a forest fire 5 miles away.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I really like how this whiskey has opened up over time.
Now, I will say, retrohaling, though...
it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. It's a definite art form. And
I will tell you, the first time I retroed, I cried.
But I will say, yeah, you'll definitely see people, and some people will retrohale. By the way, for those who don't know what retrohaling is.
Oh yeah, I didn't even explain that.
That's totally fine, because some people are like, what the hell is this? Let's just
break it down.
Let me just skip through to the part where he stops talking about retrohaling, whatever the hell that is. So instead of taking a puff of your cigar and blowing it out your mouth, you close your mouth and you basically exhale out through your nose. Great for mild and medium cigars for people that don't do it often.
Ooh, God.
Because, something like an LFD double Ajero. Okay. It's probably
or an Espinosa.
Or some Espinosas. Something with a lot of
AJ
pepper and
yeah,
body
something
to
with
it.
A lot of pepper and body will...
You might as well sneeze out Tabasco sauce, because that's what it's going to feel like to you.
Yeah.
And the only note you're going to get is hot.
Oh, yeah. Hot and pepper.
Yeah.
Like you cannot smell anything for the next week.
And are you trying to monetize these videos? Because if you are, I can't say the other words you're going to think that it tastes like.
I mean, I'm not monetized now. I mean, I'm a small guy.
Why you guys not monetizing his damn videos? Buy something. I don't know how monetization works. Is that how it works?
No, I think it's views. I have a merch shop.
Buy some merch. Put this on replay.
There you go. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, so what do you think? Solid whiskey?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you were talking about brown sugar before. Way more brown sugar.
Way more brown sugar now, right?
Way more. Yeah.
I taste it. I taste more now of the caramel than I did. I mean, I picked up the caramel now, but it's more... Like you said, when you stick your nose in the glass, it literally smells like, you were saying before, a bowl of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
I literally get that. And
right.
then you get the brown sugar. Yeah, I get a lot of the brown sugar now. And when I first started smoking the cigar, I was getting a lot of that, like, and it's weird, but like you get that like cream corn flavor. Mm-hmm. Almost like, never mind. We're not going to go into that. I don't want to mention somebody else's whiskey on this podcast, on this video.
There's no other whiskey that exists.
Only Penelope. Yeah, but I was absolutely floored when I saw the design of the bottle and I saw the design of the, and I was like eating breakfast, and I eat breakfast right across the room from my bar.
I like to eat breakfast in my bar.
And I sit there and I stare at the bottle. I'm like, man, that's a pretty freaking bottle.
God damn it!
What?
That would taste cream corn.
All right.
So the only bad thing I will say.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with this.
Here we go.
This is what crushed me, because it's 101 proof.
Yeah.
50.5% ABV.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at my Valencia bottles, and I looked at my other bottles, and I was so stoked because I thought these were all handwritten. And then I realized that it was just printed on there.
Oh, it's all printed on there.
And I'm like, damn it. Nobody's sitting there handwriting the same thing over and over again for 7,500 bottles? God damn it. And for those of you that hopefully you can see, that's what I'm talking about. If you don't have a bottle of Penelope of anything with the quasi-handwritten label, just go out and buy one, damn it.
Why are you not drinking Penelope?
If you say so. Yeah.
All right.
Very, very nice. Great pairing. I thought that was Thunder again, and I was going to be really impressed.
Oh, it's Thunder, all right.
I think it might be a mix of Thunder and your neighbor's terrible exhaust.
Yeah, that, and then we also have fireworks going on in back of us because it's around 4th of July right now, which is tomorrow. But yeah, I give it two-way thumbs up. It's a good one. Definitely, I would go back to it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would go back to it, and the fun thing's going to be what cigars pair best with it.
Oh, yeah, and you know what? I was thinking of that today. I was like, I wonder if like a Habano, like a more Habano heavy blend will taste different than more like, you don't want to get into like the broadleaf and stuff like that, but like the
Why do I not want to? Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, it's blended
I need every excuse to have a glass of this.
I mean, it's blended for the medium body cigars, but like when you look into like I wonder what notes are going to come more forward with the different
absolutely.
blended cigars.
Yeah.
Because not every cigar is going to taste the same. Every cigar is going to bounce off the palate and then reflect certain aspects of this bourbon. So,
100%.
So, and I think the coolest thing is it's like a prism. So you're going to get like, if you're like more of one style of cigar, it's gonna present one way, the whiskey, and then when you get another cigar, it's gonna present another way with more, like, right now you're getting a lot of that brown sugar, but maybe if you go to a different blend, you're gonna get more of the vanilla.
But if I smoke a Sumatran instead, something with a Sumatran wrapper versus
or a Cameroon or whatever, it's gonna present differently. So I don't want to kill this bottle tonight because I do want to try some of some other cigar wrappers. Like, originally my plan was to go with the AJ New World Cameroon for tonight. But yeah, so I think it's going to be cool to kind of see how the whiskey presents with different blended cigars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's going to be really cool.
And then also, as the bottle sits now that we're out of the neck and into the bottle, like how the whiskey is going to present later when it's been sitting like on my shelf for a couple days, a week, whatever, when I go back to it, and it's like, okay, cool. The hotness kind of turned down a little bit. You get more of the sweetness and more of the corn and yeah. So I think it's gonna be really interesting how this, because I will tell you, whiskeys and bourbons, they will evolve over time. Most of them will evolve over time as they're sitting in your bottle.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think oxygen does.
Which is why they oxygenate wine and they pour through, they aerate the wines and stuff like that. And
I was going to say, and they also have the argon that they use to maintain wine. A lot of guys will do it in their bourbon bottles to remove the oxygen to prevent that oxidation.
All right, a little more. Would you like some? A little more?
I'm good for this minute.
A little more. Whoop, that doesn't go there.
Did you just try to cheers the camera?
Yeah, so, guys, if you can find it, 100% suggest. Definitely worth it. If you can find it for a reasonable price. Like I said, we're in New Jersey. The kind of weird, listen, if you bourbon hunt in New Jersey, it's a weird market out here. You could find stuff from MSRP, and then you'll have like the really hard to find bottles. They'll be like triple, quadruple, like a secondary market, and it's just like
finding the hard to find bottles. So
everything from like Buffalo, everything from like Buffalo.
Any of the antique collection, if you're finding that for close to secondary, I understand. What I don't understand is when you have 6 cases of regular fill in the blank, and it's double what it should be.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, so where exactly do you come up with your prices?
Because they know people who really love the bourbon will try to buy it.
And that is the problem with
and that's unfortunate.
I think that's one of the problems with living in a shore town. Is that we have a vacationing population, and it's like, hey, they'll buy it. And I'm like, damn it, but I live here all the time, and I don't want to buy it for that price.
What are you talking about? I don't want to buy Buffalo Trace for $75 a bottle. What are you talking about?
I say as there's 2 guys behind me going, why? Yeah. I support this whole thing.
Yeah.
Great project.
Like I said,
killer project.
Yeah, I think Penelope did a really good job. I think they did a cool thing. I mean, listen, I'm not saying Penelope is the only cigar barrel or cigar blend.
Oh, they're definitely not. And this is their approach to it.
This is their approach to it. Like, I know, I literally just saw today, I was looking at Short Barrel.
Okay.
Short Barrel has like a cigar, like a cigar blend, and there's a lot of companies that have cigar blends out there. But I really like how Penelope approached it, how they approached cigar blenders, and they actually released they really got on board with their teams and said,
and they brought the tobacco industry in and didn't just
blend
something for a whole different industry.
Do you taste any tobacco notes in here? Because I heard there were some people that saying you can taste like a tobacco-y sweetness in the bourbon.
I think that's kind of interesting because what tobacco sweetness are you tasting? I think that's probably one of those subjective things that, some people might be getting, and whether it's a subliminal thing or not. I personally don't. I think that'd be really cool.
That would be weird. Throw a couple leaves in there. Throw a couple leaves in there during fermentation.
By the way, this bourbon does have a nicotine content.
Warning. I mean, if you're drinking that, you already need to be 21.
Yeah, so
it's not like it's bad. It's not like there should be a warning on it or anything. But yeah, no.
Well, wait, no. Now in some states where they're doing this generational tobacco ban, would you not be able to buy it then? Because you'd be like,
it's got nicotine in it. Oh shoot. Oh shucks.
You can buy Jack Daniels though.
You can fight for your country.
We're not gonna, no politics.
We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that. Sorry. That's it. No more. But yeah. So I really do, as I was saying before, I really do kind of look forward to what Penelope is going to do with each session or yearly release they're going to do.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be cool. I think we're going to get some new blenders, and I think it's going to be their take and their palate on what they like. And I think it's going to be fantastic. I mean, there are so many cigar brands and so many really good blenders and owners out there that you could just be like, cool. Listen, I'll tell you this right now. If John Huber's in on one, I am all 100% over that one. I am 100% all over that bottle.
But you know what? You know what's going to be really interesting is, and it'll be interesting to talk to Lee or Cynn about this, is do the two of them have similar palates? Because if you have somebody, like you mentioned John Huber, somebody who's done...
Like John is definitely on the heavier side, heavier, darker.
But they've also, if you pick somebody like Pete Johnson, who's come out with a couple of barrels for his SNS Club.
Yep. Which one is still available on the SNS website.
But he has his own palate. And what would come out of something if one person from one cigar brand has a completely different palate than the other person? What's that going to taste like? Because do you find a middle ground? Do you arm wrestle for it? How does it work?
Totally agreed. But we didn't want to make this video too long. We actually just chopped it up. I really love the fact that we just got to sit here, smoke a cigar, talk about...
didn't rain, even
though it didn't rain, even though it was threatening rain. As soon as we started filming, I thought it was going to just be a total washout, and we'd have to move inside. But yeah, it didn't. It's a nice, gorgeous, cool night out, and it's fantastic because we've been hammered with heat and oppressive humidity here in New Jersey. The last 2 weeks has been ridiculous. Like we reached into the triple digits 2 or 3 days in a row last week, which was just ridiculous with just oppressive humidity. And it was and so, but
for those of you that live in a dry state and you say, "Oh, it's not the heat, it's the humidity," we had both.
Yeah, it was like 90. It was like 97.
It's like being in a sweaty blast furnace.
It's being in a sauna literally all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm glad you guys joined us. If you could find Penelope Cigar Sessions, pick it up. I think you're really going to love it if you're a cigar guy, if you're a bourbon guy, if you're both.
Or woman.
Yeah.
Women drink a lot of bourbon.
Women drink a lot of bourbon and whiskey. So, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Rob from Sticks at the Shore. This is DJ.
Yo.
The newest Sticks at the Shore member.
And listen, if you guys can't find this, I know where Rob lives, and I'll send you a sample. I actually don't, so know your beat.
So this has been Rob. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out. Enjoy this stuff. It's great.